Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Hey, hey. All right, let's get into this. This is going to be today's topic video. It is for the 2nd of July. Cannot believe we're already shifting into July. Okay, we start out with rock bottom. And this rock bottom card is, I always think of rock bottom as the place that we get to when we finally find our footing again. And we can think of rock bottom, always has like negative connotations, but I actually see it a little differently. Sometimes if we've, been on the wrong path for a while, or if something hasn't been working out and we keep trying it and it keeps slipping and slipping, at some point we finally go, oh, you know what? This isn't going to work this way. Let me change my approach. So I always think of rock bottom as like where we actually get an answer. And the answer is, oh, well, this wasn't working. Not a problem. I can totally like alter that now that I know. So I look at rock bottom as a good place to get to because that's finally we're on solid bedrock again. It's way better than slip and slide. And, sometimes you got to follow a path all the way, as we can see, it's like somebody who's followed this path only to discover there is no door here. But you know what? Sometimes we got to follow a path just so that we know where the path ended. And then we can turn around and backtrack. Not a problem. This it doesn't mean that it's lost. Sometimes we do things in life because we had to know where that path went. We sign up for experiences in life not because every experience will lead to riches and fortune and fabulous outcomes, but sometimes just so that we can say, oh, I did that one time. Yeah, no, it was a bunch of money, it was a bunch of this, a bunch of that, and I got some memories out of it, but it didn't yield what I thought it would. But now I know sometimes this is important to know what won't yield results so that we don't have to keep wondering about it. Sometimes we just got to figure it out so that we don't spend the rest of our life wondering. I'm thinking right now, like, say it's a relationship. We weren't doing great, but I had to stay long enough to know without a doubt that this is not going to be something I have to look back and regret. I got to know that if I walk away from this, I walk away for the right reason. And so then I would say that would be another example of it's not rock bottom so much as it is getting to the truth of the matter. Okay, let's take a look. We've got the Nine of Swords. We've got the Queen of Wands. We could have a divine feminine who's like, wow, I was really stressed out once upon a time. And then I regained my stature, my composure as that Queen of Wands. A Queen of Wands will always own her own choices. She is somebody who says, if something is making me unhappy, I'll only tolerate so much unhappiness before I say, this is not what I want to choose anymore. And she will choose differently. But she will also say, oh, I picked that and it didn't make me happy, but I kept picking it for a while because I had to give it a chance. She doesn't back away from her own decisions in life, even if they turned out to be ones that was like, oh yeah, that was freaking awful. I feel like something like there's spiders or something on me. Sorry, it's the season where there's like little spider webs everywhere right now. And I think I don't know. Sometimes I imagine I got bit the other day on the back of my palm just sitting here. And I think I'm just thinking about that. But we've got this King of Wands as well. So if she has hit rock bottom, if on the 2nd of July we have a divine feminine saying, you know what, I am so not going to deal with any more things that make me miserable. I'm a Queen of Wands. I deserve to be with the King of Wands. That's it. That's what I've made the decision of. She had to get to the point where she was really sick and tired of somebody else's antics, or she was really sick and tired of taking less than what she was worth. So then she decided, you know what? Damn it, I'm worth more than this. I'm a Queen of Wands who deserves a King of Wands, no less. I kind of think it's good to get fed up once in a while. I do. I think it's a good place when we get fed up for the right reason about the right thing. When we discover I shouldn't be unhappy. This is not what I signed up for. This is not what my life is supposed to be. So why am I letting it be? I just remember who the hell I am, and I'm a lot better than this. And there's better out there for me. I like to see a character get empowered. I like to see a character who says, I'm done crying. I'm done dealing with things that make me cry. I can have better, anything is better than this, in fact, but I also intend to have much, much better than this. So I just keep seeing we have a very empowered Queen of Wands. We have the Hierophant. This Hierophant card always makes me kind of chuckle, only in the sense that it's okay. This would be a card of marriage. Oftentimes, the Hierophant can be anything that we believe in. It can be structures, organizations, things of authority, belief systems, things that we sign our name to, big contracts, things like marriage. And in this case, it almost says she possibly was married to somebody that is not what it was supposed to be like. And it's kind of like, okay, listen, he got poked in the eye here, right? He's got the eye patch on. And it's like, okay, I know now sometimes you can sign your name to something and it is not what it was cracked up to be. But you know what? You can also say, well, this is not okay. And you can't make me see it differently. I can tell the difference between what it should be and what I'm actually getting. I know this isn't right. So I can still believe in love and marriage, but I can also be aware and say sometimes what you get is not something to keep signing your name to. I feel like this is a divorced feminine or somebody who has learned sometimes you do pick the wrong one and you do not have to stay. If something's making you miserable, doesn't matter what you signed your name to. You got the freedom to change your opinion, change your mind, because they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. I think she's realizing I would like to have something that I could count on, but by God, if it turns out to be a bunch of crap, I'm not going to stick around and keep my name signed to a contract that is only making me miserable. It has to be fair, or I will exit stage left. And I kind of think, again, this is like her making this decision. You notice she's not afraid to fall in love. In fact, she believes in it. But she also is a little bit more mindful that sometimes you can sign your name to something and to find out later that you were the only one that was going to hold up your end of the bargain. She does not feel compelled to hold up her bargain if somebody else doesn't as well. It feels a little bit precise here. It feels like I feel like on the second, she's kind of had her last cry and she's feeling pretty empowered and she's making all these brave decisions, right? She's basically getting over somebody and she's realizing I can give unconditional love, but on the other hand, I'm not a fool. I can love somebody and realize I can't be with them, and I can say I deserve better, and I can go and commit myself to finding better. However, on the same day that she's kind of having this very empowered thought process, you notice that we do have this King of Swords who's standing there like he's getting the memo. And I say that because with the High Priestess sideways, it means two people are sharing the same energy. It's like he's reading her thoughts. I know she deserves better. I know what she has come to the conclusion of. I don't know yet he's having obviously like this serious awareness because he's very cerebral about it. King of Swords, are you the person that she hit rock bottom with? Are you the one that made her cry? We got an Ace of Swords. He's the one who doesn't want to let her go, but he's also the one that wasn't truthful about something. He's having a real hard time letting her go. There's the Justice card and there's the Six of Cups. This is crazy because it's like, she is my soulmate. Yes, I did her wrong. Yes, I didn't tell her truths, but I still want her back. I as a soulmate, can't I still come back? Can't she still come back to me? Even though I know that part's wrong too. He definitely did not do right by her from what we can tell. And it seems like this King of Swords is aware that a Queen of Wands has had it up to here. She's moving on. Why are you picking up on this, right? He's sensing it, not necessarily having conversation with her, because it's all the High Priestess energy. Ace of Cups, and this is a very sad cup of love. It's like there have been more tears that filled this cup than heartfelt love. But why is he aware of this with her right now? It's almost like it's become really clear just how unhappy he made her. And that might be the thing that he's realizing, like, as she rejects any more sorrow, he's just now becoming more attuned to just how much sorrow he created for her. Why did you do that? Page of Cups sideways. I couldn't say sorry. I mean, I am sorry, but I can't bring myself to say those words. Nine of Pentacles sideways. I don't have the courage to do that. I don't have the self-worth to do that. I can't back down and admit that I made mistakes. But what were the mistakes about? I don't get it. Four of Pentacles. Something about holding back. If this was supposed to be a marriage, maybe he never did get married to her. Maybe that's because the concept of marriage is here, but she feels like marriage can poke you in the eye, and she wants somebody who's like a really good match for herself. She doesn't want to be like have some dismal image of what a long-term relationship would look like. Whereas I said, what was wrong here? What was the injustice? What was the unfairness here? And it says, I mean, obviously we've got a bridezilla over here. I'm wondering if he was afraid of big commitment. So maybe there was never actually a marriage at all. Maybe that's the other thing. She's like, you can stay with somebody and they never actually want to make it a serious commitment. It could be that, or of course, because this can be about legalities. And then we saw the card that spoke of lies. And this could have been he was actually still married and he lied about that. There's some truth that wasn't told. But again, his truth just could have been like, I was too scared to get married. I didn't feel empowered enough. Or it could be, I was too scared to get unmarried so I could truly offer her something. And I also am not empowered enough to say, hey, I'm sorry that I lied to you. I was actually still married. It could be that. But there's this weird element where he's thinking so much about her and seeing it very clearly, seeing it through her eyes, seeing the wrong that was done, seeing the fact that he made her really, really unhappy, that's not the way to love somebody, to cause them grief. And she admits it too. Like, it was a bunch of freaking grief. I hit rock bottom with this. That's why I'm over it. I'm done with it. I want better. It's just weird that on the same day that she's over it, done with it, and wants better, it's the day it's like really sinking in for him in no uncertain terms. He's being truthful enough to say, I know how she feels about this. She feels like I made her cry. That wasn't love. I couldn't say sorry. I didn't have whatever empowerment there was. I didn't tell her a truth. I lied to her. I hid stuff. Either I didn't tell her that I didn't want to be married, or I didn't tell her that I already was married. But man, I still want her. That's the summary of what we see for him with that particular collection of cards. So I don't even know why that matters at this point. Five of Pentacles. It's more like he's recognizing that she's really walking away, even though he really wants her back. The Five of Pentacles, he's lost a lot here. He's lost somebody that was his Six of Cups. And I think he's just like realizing it in no uncertain terms. She's walking away. Okay, I don't know that that means anything other than his awareness of it. But we started out with, we do have rock bottom, and we have it really, technically we have two of these pathways, right? Either way we see it. So maybe she's hit rock bottom and is rebounding and leaving this, and he might just be hitting rock bottom with the realization of what he's lost. Maybe that's why we see two paths here that both ended up at rock bottom. But it's like, what do you do once you hit rock bottom? We can see she's rebounding and she's believing in love and she's determined to have better. And he seems to be hitting rock bottom and just sitting there, with that Five of Pentacles. It's like, oh my God, I've lost somebody I always intended to go back to. Is that what this boils down to? Well, we've got the Eight of Wands sideways for him. It's weird because it's like there's this huge desire. I always feel like this is when somebody's heart is like screaming. There's this huge desire to like either take action, rush in and say something, stop this from happening. But at the same time, I don't know that that looks like he'll do anything. The urgency is there. I mean, this is a very urgent card. Who sings that? Urgent, urgent. Urgent. The World card. Talk about urgent. You notice that she sits here in her wedding dress, no less. This has all been about weddings, or not weddings, but marriage. And she's holding the scythe, and she's holding the I always call it an egg timer. I'm sorry, I don't know why I want to call it an egg timer all the time. Hourglass. Time's up, right? New cycle. She's ready for a new cycle. I'm thinking that on July the 2nd, she just might actually meet that King of Wands. She's had it. She doesn't want any of her precious time wasted. She doesn't want to cry over somebody. She is about serious relationships only, and she's genuinely ready to have like something that she can count on, something she can rely on. I don't think that this is like, oh, my whole life is just based on whether or not I find someone to marry. I don't think it's that. I just think that there's this element of she's a fearless and serious queen who has a dream of sharing her energy with her complement, somebody that she can, develop more with. She wants the other half of a power couple. She's, wants the sun to her moon. She's, there's nothing wrong with wanting the, not even about love and romance per se, but like someone to build with. She's got ideas of what she wants to do in this lifetime and that she'd like to share that with someone. That's not somebody being needy. That's somebody actually who maybe has like a much bigger life plan. And it's like, I mean, you don't think badly of like a business owner who's like, well, I want to expand, which means I need to hire on a whole bunch more staff. I need to find super talented people. I need to get, my second in command, or, I need to find an investor because I have a big plan and I want to share my big plan. Anybody with drive and intention is going to probably have a plan. And so I would say that's why I would look at her. I mean, does she want love? Yes, but she wants to be part of a power couple. But I don't see it as like she's oh so desperate for like somebody marry me. And he doesn't see her that way either, but he knows time's up for him to have offered a serious offer. As much as he wishes he could somehow rush in, I think he knows time is up. This serious offer should have been made a long time ago from him to her. And I don't see that still is a possibility at this point. On his mind, we have a 10 of Pentacles and we have the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles. I feel like he knows that the scales have tipped too far in the other direction. If she's already at an 8 of Pentacles, she's already built more success for herself and she's been getting over him. And he just seems to be very aware of that. He left this far too long. Maybe he had intentions of someday showing up, but I feel like on the 2nd, as much as she's hit rock bottom and propelled herself upward into a new timeline, he is just now hitting the rock bottom to realize she's out of my grasp. She's out of my league. She's already over me. And she's already built more of her life without me than with me. I missed a critical cutoff point already with her. If I were going to offer her something serious, I should have done it at least 3 Pentacles ago, because she's already built way more without me than I couldn't even catch up and start sharing, building with her. She's beyond my reach already. I kind of think he's realizing this procrastination or whatever it was on his part, it's too long. But I wonder if he didn't realize until this moment that it's too late for him now. She's way out of his grasp because he left it so long that she got over him. Maybe that's the way it was supposed to go, though. Sometimes the universe is like, I don't want her back with you. You need to stay away long enough that she can get over you and she can get fed up and she can want something different. We have a Wheel of Fortune. The universe was definitely involved in this. This is divine timing. This is, in truth, I don't think she ever wanted to deal with a situation like this. Okay. So look, I'm going to say something that sounds kind of extreme here, but it's like, if they made me cry once, forgivable. If they made me cry 2 or 3 times. Okay, love is patient, love is kind. But if they make me cry 9 freaking times and I'm sitting here, this is just a pattern. This is just the pattern that says, why would I even want this person back? And I feel like she had to get to that point. I feel like they stayed away long enough for her to realize this is a pattern for me to break. This is me allowing a karmic pattern to exist for myself. Hell no. I'm a Queen of Wands. I don't do karmic patterns. I can be patient, I can be kind, but I'm not signing up for continual, flagrant disregard or something where this person keeps breaking my heart. They're not telling me everything. I don't get what's going on. Hell no. I'm a Queen of Wands. You got to match my energy. And I think she kind of had to get to that point. Thankfully, they stayed away and didn't try to course correct things with her long enough for her to have put all these other thoughts and wheels in motion, along with the help of the universe, so that she could truly be over them. Everything here keeps saying that we have a Queen of Wands that is over that King of Swords. And we needed to get to this point. She needed to get to this point, and she's there on the second. Knight of Cups. She's ready to love somebody else. Are you about to meet somebody that swiftly? Are you meeting that king? We have Knight of Pentacles. Knights are action takers, and we have her as 2 different knights. We have her certainly moving on from them. She's maybe just in love with her life. I don't know, maybe she's starting to play guitar. Maybe she's, falling in love with life itself or art or anything that she's ever enjoyed. She's moving forward slowly but surely. She's got a path, an idea of what she wants to do with her life. She's back on her timeline, her quest. 7 of Pentacles. She has grown a lot out of this situation. Please do bear in mind, she could be a he. This could have always been same-sex couple. Does not matter. But primarily, we've been talking about the way this Queen of Wands is really feeling free of something that once upon a time she maybe wanted for a long time, even though it was hurting her. And as she's fully released this and she no longer wants it, it is pretty ironic that that King of Swords is the one hitting rock bottom, knowing that she's gone. But we're seeing she's really kind of like, her life is blossoming again. Her activity level is increasing. The amount of growth she's had, she's about to like really recognize it herself. A 7 of Pentacles can be a big payout. It can be all the things that we have acquired, accrued, whether it's lessons, it's wisdom, it's self-confidence, but it kind of comes in all at once and we go, wow, look at me. I don't know when I became more elegant, more sophisticated, more empowered. I don't know when something changed about the way I carry myself, but I can look in the mirror and see it. Other people are noticing it. When did I get better posture? Well, probably when I started standing up for myself, but it feels like she's acquired a newfound sense of like peace and abundance in her life. We do have this 2 of Swords that is sideways. Again, I would just keep saying this is the awareness that she's done with something and he's aware that she's done with him as well. This is a 2-way street. There isn't really a way back anymore. She grew beyond this. She grew beyond wanting this. So she's very much free of this. We have a King of Wands in the reverse. We have the Death card upright. We have the Sun upright. You know what's so wild? Even if her first thought was, I am so sick of this. I don't want somebody back who would make me cry. I'm a Queen of Wands. I only want a King of Wands. You know what's so crazy? The truth of it is, she's so happy to finally be over that mess with the King of Swords. She doesn't instantly want a King of Wands. She's not waiting on somebody new to come into her world. She's actually in this vibe of what I think I would prefer is just to be happy and enjoy where I'm at right now. Her immediate thought is not like, okay, I'm ready for that King of Wands. She's in love with her life. She's in love with where she's at. There is no big need to go meet somebody else. I feel like if anything, like she's going to have some really good, like, I don't know if this is going to be a hot girl summer for her or what, but she's going to have a really good time in life. And she's looking at her life differently. I'm not saying she was ever like desperate to meet somebody and get married, but I will say I think she's happier single and even fully embracing being completely single right now in a way she didn't fully like realize just how good she's got it. Everything here, this doesn't mean she's like, okay, now I'm anti relationship. And it doesn't mean she was ever so caught up that she thought her life had no meaning unless she had a relationship. But this does just say, God, I'm so happy being who I am. I mean, my life as it is already really good. I go where I want to go. I do what I want to do. I There's a lot to be said for being independent, making choices that I want from one minute to the next, not consulting with anybody else, just making my choices on what I want to do. This is really lovely. I have a great life. If I never meet somebody that matches me, it's okay. I match me. The life I'm living matches who I am. I don't think that she is anti relationship, nor is she clamoring for it. I think she's come to a place of peace and genuine joy in her life. And I think that was part of her big journey here. We watched her go through the gauntlet of, hitting rock bottom, feeling miserable, then, saying, I won't tolerate this. I will have something better. And then to realize I already have something better. It's me. It's my own freedom of choice. It's my own life. I kind of think if she meets somebody, great. If not, she'll be just fine that way too. I do not see this as a feminine who's like, okay, now I'm ready for my other half. Must meet them. That'll be the next order of business. I think she's just loving her single life. Universe, what does that mean? Because sometimes when a character gets so comfortable in just their own life, that's it. There's nothing more that she needs to go seeking. You have a Nine of Swords with a Page of Swords in the reverse. It's crazy because she's kind of like, I don't even know why I was ever upset about anything. I don't, I never, when I think back, I don't know what was I supposed to learn. Why was I so upset about something? Doesn't even matter to me. Doesn't even matter to me. That's actually pretty amazing that she is beyond knowing or caring what made her unhappy in the past. It's because we have a Six of Wands and a Three of Pentacles. I feel like her interests in her life, in this next chapter anyway, are going to be about her like investing in things she cares to learn about, business ideas, basically just the stuff that makes our life exciting. If she wants to go places, do things, cultivate talents of her own, become somebody that she feels is successful, collaborate with people on things that she cares about. I feel like she could have a very adventurous life. I mean, I'm not saying she's going to go become a treasure hunter or archaeologist, but there is something here about her following her dreams and pursuing things that she maybe wouldn't have allowed herself to pursue otherwise. Hobbies, interests, educational pursuits, things like that. That seems to be where her focus is going to be, not on relationship. So kind of some big turnarounds on the second, huh? We see we see a character who's, man, hitting rock bottom. It's definitely the best thing she ever did. It's where, talk about getting her footing. It's where she discovered, honestly, I want so many other things in my life. It's not even about relationship anymore. I don't know what happens with that King of Swords other than they certainly have the awareness that they lost this connection. And it is too late for them to go back in time. They lost this person that I think they always wanted to go back to, but they were never honest with her. So I'm not even sure how they thought that was ever going to be possible. That's kind of a weird, curious side note on that. All right, and now let me just go ahead and I'm going to pull one card for someone whose birthday is on the 2nd, and then I will say farewell. Okay, we have got an Ace of Cups sideways. Let me get one more. So for someone whose birthday is on the 2nd, we have either a shared, I know it's an Ace of Cups, but ooh, we have these two seahorses that are, kind of like enveloping this cup. Seahorses do mate for life. And although it's not a Two of Cups, it almost carries some of that vibe to it, especially now that it's sideways because it's a shared energy. This feels like there is like either an awareness or a proclamation of love that is on the horizon. It's like two people, maybe they don't have to say it in so many words, but the emotion is there. We have a King of Coins that is like very much wanting to like show up as a constant in somebody's life. Sometimes, especially a King of Coins, they do things to show that they're there, not necessarily speak about emotions, but instead show actions of emotions by like nurturing, by doing something that would look quite permanent. Um, I'm picturing like somebody, if somebody's like dating a person and then that person, um, like they they buy like a big purchase item or something. It's like, oh, it's time to go bed shopping. Come with me, and we got to make sure that you like the mattress. That's kind of like, okay, wait a second, you're buying an expensive item, fully intending that I have to approve of it because this is you showing me that this is my bed too. It could be something along those lines, but I'm feeling like there's some bigger expression of like, this is a long term, this is me showing caring, this is me, like showing up as somebody that has long term intentions. It may not be like a lovey dovey emotional outpouring. Instead, it's like an act of generosity or stability. So, very lovely here, but we may have a character who's going to be showing that kind of affection. And I usually look at, the birthday readings, I look at them as like the upcoming year, like what's the big ticket item in the next year of a character's, existence. And so I don't imagine that this is like, oh, somebody's getting some huge expensive gift per se, but more like in the next year, this is one of the big things that might evolve in a character's life, is a show of consistency from, and this could even be a new person, but it just looks like there's a stable and loving expression coming from somebody, something that you can hang your hat on. All right, I'm going to leave that there. You guys, thank you so much for being here. Really good to see you guys. Hi, honey. Great to see you again. Tammy Johnson, RS, Nocturnal Miss So, Carol, and Holly. Thank you for being here. It's so true, Holly. Well said. Carrie Wilson, good to see you. Everybody's time stamping the time zone that they're in. I love that, EM. Night owls indeed, huh? And Tina, thank you for being here. Carol, you were first in the house. The Duty of Human. I love that. That's a great name. Mud Smoky, hi love. How are you? Regina Davis, awesome to catch you again tonight. Sabrina Elizabeth, thank you guys so much. Really great to hang out with all of you. I know, RS, the night owl crew has assembled. Rhonda Walton, good night, honey. All right, you guys. Sweet dreams, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yes, EM. Yes, I do believe that was Foreigner. Yep. I think you hit the nail on the head. Yeah, it has to be. That totally sounds like urgent, right? That sounds like Foreigner. Sometimes I'll mix Foreigner and Journey. Like I don't know why, but there's just certain bands I just blend in my brain. I think because that was like such eras of music, and so as a kid, one song after another would come on, and it was more like a whole genre that just stuck in my head, but I never really separated out the different bands. Hi, Vineet. Bye, hun. Have a great night, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.